Hello, and welcome to 5 for Friday for this Friday, July 21st, 2023. Congratulations for investing your valuable time to keep up with these news stories that could impact your small business. Way to be future focused. All right, you ready to get started with this week's topics? Let's get going, starting with topic number 1. RTO versus WFH, or return to office versus work from home. This is an ongoing battle among many large employers, and there are all kinds of studies popping up to figure out the ideal way to work. Turns out the answer is hybrid. If we only work from home, we're less productive. If we only work in the office, we're less happy or engaged. But if you're a high-paying executive, you can likely demand to work from home or go find another company that will let you. And if you're a working mother, remote or hybrid work has made it much easier to stay in the workforce, which is a big plus. One big minus, though, all that unused commercial real estate. Some of it is turning into apartments, but did you know that those office buildings are great for creating a vertical farm as well? That could be an interesting new inner city trend. Go to the financial district to get your fresh veggies. All right, moving on to story number 2, jumping on the AI bandwagon. OpenAI's ChatGPT chatbot tool has started a trend. All the big tech firms are now busy working on their own AI tools. This includes Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, an OpenAI investor, Google, Shopify, and Elon Musk with his new business, xAI, which he hopes will be less politically correct than chatbot. And he's off to a good start hiring only men for his startup. All right, more seriously, we don't know where all this is going to lead. Hopefully not to human extinction, which OpenAI has listed as a top worry. But very likely it will lead to a completely new way for us to interact with the internet. So be prepared for what that might mean for how customers find your business online. And with that, let's move on to story number 3, green solutions. In some areas, it's become politically incorrect to focus on lowering your greenhouse gas emissions. But companies are still planning to do so. They're just keeping it quiet. It's so popular now, it has its own term, green hushing. Kind of sad. Tools like ChatGPT are expected to use 3 times more energy than traditional cloud tasks, so we do need to work on ways to address this huge surge in energy as we all move to AI. And current corporate efforts to buy carbon offsets are not doing the trick, so it's time to look into how to actually make the changes in-house rather than buying credit and not doing anything. More details in the newsletter, including a new utopian society being built in Canada, so check that out if you subscribe. The key here is, when will it turn out to be profitable to be green? I'm not sure anything else will inspire big corporations to make a change. All right, moving on to story number 4, technology overwhelm. AI and chatbots are just making it easier to generate more and more content for us to try to keep up with or leave unread in our inboxes. And a move to more text messaging marketing will keep us busy responding to never-ending texts from marketers as well. What's a person to do? Actually, what's a primate to do? It turns out that people at the Toronto Zoo have been showing videos on their phones to the gorillas, and it's leading to antisocial gorilla behavior. What a shock. One possible solution comes from a Gen Z startup, a device that allows you to block as many apps as you want. Then you leave the device in a completely separate room from your phone, and you can't unblock the apps without touching the device. Ingenious. Honestly, we all need to figure out how to protect ourselves from too much tech. And it's only going to get worse before it gets better, or we're all struggling with serious mental health issues. So keep that in mind, and let's move on to our final story, story number 5, anti-aging. Assuming we can manage our mental health somehow, our next step is to try to live as long as possible and look as young as possible. Apparently, longevity clinics are popping up wherever wealthy people live, charging as much as $100,000 a year for some questionable treatments and supplements, all with the goal of living longer. No, thank you. I prefer my motto of everything in moderation and no ice baths. Eat right, exercise, and recognize that no matter how much money you have, we are all mortal. At least for now. And with that, thanks for joining me for this week's 5 for Friday. If you want to get all the links, all the resources, and my full take on all these topics, then be sure to check out my subscription newsletter that gives you everything in the video and more. And as always, I hope you'll sign up to receive these videos directly from me or subscribe on YouTube so you can continue to hear about these signals of change that could impact your small business. Happy Friday.